Hello everyone. This time I wanted to do a different video. Um, I know that I just had a few videos, but I was thinking that I would like to do something different of what I've been doing these past few days. And everything started because my dad asked me, "Why are you still studying Korean?" Um, a little background on this. I've been studying Korean for a quite time now, and even though I am not proficient or I'm not the expert speaking Korean, um, I I can read Korean, which for me it works because I think that's my what I wanted to achieve. Uh, it's not the best, the ideal case, but I think it's enough for me as I don't want to work as a translator. So just be able to read Korean, it's okay. Um, but this question that my dad did to me was, why are you still doing this even though it you can use it to work? It works now as it is for you. And that got me thinking about, well, he got a point, definitely. Um, I could save that money on the extra courses that I take, and if I just stop studying Korean, right? But I think it's not only about the language. In my case, in my particular case, it goes on being prepared and continue studying. Even though I can read Korean now, that's not enough. That's not the point. And I think at this point is not what I started doing that. Uh, I mean, it's very helpful in my work because I work with Koreans. I grew with that working culture. Korean, it's been weird and strange for me. In more than one occasion, we have had this clash of cultures where I've seen Mexican people struggling to adapt to Korean culture, and the other way around, Korean people struggling to interpret or understand Mexican people. And that's my day to day, basically. But 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 I was thinking on this video and what I wanted to do, and I think regarding on something different is, as you might noticed by now, I wanted to do this in English to show you, uh, and I mean specifically to show some of you guys that I help you with the language thing, right? And to show you that nobody is perfect, even though my day to day basically is dealing with Korean people in English or in broken Korean or in broken Spanish. It's like a bubble tower in my work. Even though I have to do that every day, it's a different like different scenario in my job, as I know that everyone does like that. But what I'm talking about here is that I don't have to speak English outside my office, but in my office 100% of the time I'm speaking English. And that's why I wanted to do this video in English as well, to show you that this what you're listening to is not perfect. Even though I'm speaking, maybe I'm making some grammatical mistakes, some errors, using one word instead of another. But I actually I think that, no, I hope that you can understand what I'm saying in this video. You know, it's also the first time for me because I never hear myself speaking in English. This is the way that I talk with other Korean people and German guys and wherever, I have friends in other parts of the world, and well, so far so good. We can be friends at least, which is good. But well, aside of that, I would like to say that speak about the importance of being prepared, because well, I start studying Korean because I went to a Korean company and I want to get more from that company and my coworkers and do a good job and be better at what I do. Sometimes it's not just enough to be the best, because you can be the best, but in this case I think you are the best in one group, the group with you can communicate with. Outside of that group, for that guys, for that people, you are nothing, you're nobody. That's something that actually kind of happened in my company, where there are some managers which I trust, because I don't know that they are the best. They know a lot, they have a lot of experience, but it comes down to nothing if they can't communicate the knowledge that they have. They can't train people, they can't integrate with the teams. They end up being isolated because they can't work together as a team because of the language. And that's why I started speaking Korean too, as I told you, to do more in my company. And because of that, I've been able to help people overseas. I provide support to them because I know, and I know because I can read in Korean. Well, this takes me to the next point, that being prepared gives you liberty. Liberty in a way that you can do whatever you want, be whatever you want, because of this freedom that you get from knowledge. No one can take that from you, right? Once you learn something, that goes with you, and the same applies for any scenario that you want to take, what you want to think of, even if it's in your personal life, your work life. Once you learn something, it becomes a part of you, and you can take that knowledge whatever you want. That's real freedom, I think. No one can push you to stay in the same place if you don't want to, or just because you know how to do things and no one else knows that. Also, I think because another importance of being prepared is you can reduce insecurity. Because as you know, nowadays we live times where there are wars everywhere, and poverty, and currency is fluctuating. So you can really invest in something, waiting that you can make money of it later. As many people with Bitcoin have found out, it's very complicated to know what's going to come in the future. So one way to reduce that insecurity is continue with your studies, with the preparation, to get more knowledge, because more knowledge and it's going to make you a better person, I think, in a way that you will become irreplaceable. But even if we don't get knowledge, I know we are irreplaceable for some people. But the more you know, bigger will be the circle with where you're the only one who can do that kind of thing, or you become important for society, and people want to have you around because you know things, you know how to solve issues, any kind of problem. You will have kind of an idea of how to solve it based on what you have learned. That's why I think that's another importance of being prepared. Family, work, and more importantly, any major event. You remember when we had this pandemic thing? Um, People started to stay at home. I saw many people that they just wanted to see a movie and catch up on series, watching Netflix, things like that. But few people were the ones that wanted to learn new things, start doing new things. And I sadly I know that those were the less ones. More the more the most common um, statement was I stay at home watching TV. Uh, anyway, you have to continue learning. It's very important. It gives you freedom, whatever I told you. And now the next thing is what study. I I can tell you what to study, but I can tell you that if you want to study something, you can start by studying something that you like, even if you know that you won't get any money of it, just for the pleasure of that, for the pleasure of learning something. As I told you before, once you get the knowledge, hardly you will, uh, you will forget it. You will rip off from that knowledge. It will stay with you. So first thing, will you learn something that you want to learn? Study something that you want to learn. In my case, have been languages. For some reason, I enjoy studying languages. Um, Currently, I'm studying Korean, as I told you, English, as I'm using it. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Also, I'm studying Russian and Japanese. Japanese. It took me a long time to start studying Japanese because I always thought of Japanese like something very hard or very specific for people who love Japan. You know, that's weird weebos that want to be there and love mangas and anime, etc. Whatever. But that's not my case. But I'm aware that Japanese culture is everywhere, and we all enjoy almost anything that comes from there. Japanese culture is so rich, and people have so much freedom that they do whatever they want to do. So if you have some weird idea, probably someone in Japan is already doing it. And also, I have found that kind of enjoyment in the learning Japanese, and that's particularly specifically with me, that I find the joy that I can read something that hardly anyone can. That goes the same with Japanese, Korean language. I can write in Korean, and I know nobody that can read in Korean. That, for me, it makes me feel kind of special, I think I would use that word, because no one can. And when somebody find out that I can, they see me like, you're very special, you're very intelligent, you are this and this and this, and it feels good at the end of the day. Of course, I'm not doing because of that. It's one of the it comes with the language. I think it comes with knowing, with learning, because if you learn something, you become part of a group that is learning that or knows that. But sometimes you are interacting with people outside that group, and that people are going to see you as something different, something they want to do, but they can do it. So study whatever you want. In the end, the important thing is study something that makes you happy, something that you enjoy. if you start studying things moved by prestige or money, I think you are going to end up dropping whatever you're studying because it's going to become like a job, a hard thing to do. So you have to do something that you truly enjoy. Well, in my case, as I told you, why languages? Because I don't know, I enjoy studying languages because it's very helpful for me. As I work in IT, sometimes I have to Google something, an issue. I can find information in several languages, and as I go to one forum to another, I can find the answer easily because my spectrum to get answers, it's a little bit bigger. It happened to me already one time that I didn't know how to fix something, and I knew some Russian words to define my problem. That's what I typed in Google. No, wait, I went to Yandex. Yandex is like the Russian Google. I went there and I started typing my problem. I found some results, and clicking here and there, I found the answer. It wasn't Russian, and I read some little words and was able to find to solve an issue using Russian. The same happened to me one time that I needed to contact with my same company but in Russia. So I sent them an email in Russian, and they answered me in Russian as well. And we exchanged like 4 emails, and it was kind of fun. Simple emails, I think. But it was fun at the end of the day. And that's what I'm doing it because it's fun. I enjoy it, and somehow it has made me make more money because of that, which is good. And well, to close this video, I want to say that first, I hope you have understand everything that I have said, because this is the English that I use in my office. Actually, I don't have any other. Yes, I have other. English is the one that you use slang on the street. I haven't used that English here, but it's more like slang, as I say it. But I hope you have understand most of what I've been saying here, because it's not, in my case, it's not just the language alone. It's how I speak, how I pronounce some letters, the speed that I speak. So there are more problems that I have to work with, and that's why from long time ago I wanted to start making these videos, but I know that if people can have a hard time understand me in Spanish, in other language it's going to be worse. So let's see how this goes. And another final thought that I want to give you is study, learn something, whatever you want, any piece of information that you can get to make you better person. That should be what you are aiming for, to get more knowledge. One thing that I would like to live by, and at the same time it haunts me every day, is if a day happens and I didn't learn anything, even the smallest bit of information, useful information, and if I don't learn anything, that's a wasted day. And as I pass my job now, I have lost many days playing video games or having fun, but not all your life must be revolving around having fun and having a good time. It's not that studying doesn't imply having bad times or you hate that, but make your activity, like study, a fun thing. That's what I've learned to do through the time, through the pass of time, through the years. I made learning an enjoyable activity, and I spend my evenings studying things. I also learning some other stuff. I don't believe that I am the expert in anything. I try to, but I always see that I have room for improvement, as I'm sure that most of people have. There is really not an expert in everything. No one knows everything, so we have to keep trying to be the best of our own versions. So anyway, thank you for listening to me, and if this goes well, I promise you to make maybe another video explaining some other things in English. If it doesn't, this will be my last video, I promise. Anyway, I would like you to leave your comments below, because that will give me some kind of feedback of what I'm doing here. At the end of the day, I think I do it for myself, but if at the same time I can get comments or feedback to improve, it would be very appreciated, I think. So thank you, and please have a good time.